yesterday after we saw oil spike to over $80 per barrel on news of that production cut. So the TSX down about 0.25%, 50 points at 20,229. Shares in Suncor Energy down close to 2%, and a big weight on Bay Street on news that the company's majority-owned Syncrude Unite is being charged with safety violations after the death of an oil sands worker. Suncor has been under pressure to improve its safety record, and especially with the focus coming from activist investor Elliott Investment Management. The price for oil right now dipping into the red, actually, by about 20 cents at still over $80 U.S. per barrel. Gold futures, meanwhile, surging 38 to $2,038 the ounce. The Canadian dollar down slightly at 74.35 cents U.S. And Wall Street is in the red with triple-digit declines for the Dow Jones, down 225 points, led lower mainly by some banking stocks. The S&P 500 down 30 points, the Nasdaq by 90. Shares in Tesla are down about 2%, the number one company when it comes to sales for electric vehicles. So other automakers are battling it out to be number two, and as of now, that's General Motors. They had a very strong first quarter led by sales of the Chevrolet Bolt and beat out their rivals in Ford. GM also expects to sell 50,000 electric vehicles in the second quarter. Now, one of the reasons Ford may have fallen behind was the multi-week delay in manufacturing of the F-150 Lightning electric pickup truck after one of the vehicles caught fire at a storage lot. At the City News Business Center, I'm Ari Rabinovich.
Michael.
Yes, Callum.
How do I tell my wife I love her twice as much as the day I married her?
Oh, I know. You buy her a diamond twice as big as the one you gave her when you got engaged.
We call that a big anniversary diamond, Callum.
Spence has two ways for you to go twice as big.
We have twice as big diamonds from Diamond Mines.
And we have twice as big created diamonds that come from the fiery heart of a ball of lightning.
It's literally a miniature star inside a plasma chamber.
Wow, I'd love to see one of those.
Callum, you need to spend less time in the office and more time in the Spence Diamond showroom.
Michael, what if I wanted to buy her something super rare?
Oh, I know. You could buy her an exotic pink, yellow, or blue created diamond.
Or you could buy her an artistically imperfect diamond. Each one is absolutely one of a kind.
Does Spence really have 6 kinds of diamonds?
Diamond mines.
Plasma chambers.
Pink, yellow, and blue.
And non-traditional.
Spence. Located in Vaughan, Scarborough, and Mississauga. City News time at the Double Tones will be 3:30. Toronto's number one for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is City News 680, everywhere.
It's Tuesday, April 4th. I'm Slojana Timenzik.
And I'm James Monroe. Here's what you need to know.
Donald Trump pleads not guilty to 34 criminal charges. A grand jury indictment against him has been unsealed.
TTC safety is becoming front and center for candidates running for mayor in Toronto. One says he has a safety plan that includes installing platform edge doors and bringing cell reception to subways across the network.
A dire plea from the Daily Bread Food Bank.
Right now, we're in a crisis situation.
The number of users has quadrupled since the pandemic began. They're calling on the government to take action. With Matt Murray day-to-day, Joseph Wall starts in goal tonight when the Leafs host the Blue Jackets. The Jays will try to even their series in KC, and the Raptors and Hornets will tip it off in Charlotte. Sports at 45. The TSX is on track to snap a 7-day winning streak. And out of this world, more like out of money for Richard Branson's Virgin Orbit. Business at 56.
City News time, 3:31.
Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carrie Frunskis.
This report is brought to you by ADP. We have two problems on the eastbound 401. The first one is east of Yonge in the Express. The right lane is blocked because of a stalled truck. And then there's another stalled vehicle approaching the DDP in the Express. Looks like the right lane is partially blocked here. The stalled vehicle itself is on the right shoulder. MTO crews are on the scene as well, so they are taking a little bit of a piece of that right lane. As for delays eastbound 401, it's very heavy from south of Pearson all the way to east of Yonge in the Express, and delays continue to about Leslie in the collectors. And it's busy into the Durham region as well, from Brock Road to east of Salem. Southbound 404, the collision approaching Shepherd, that has now cleared. But we're left with a terrible backup here. Southbound 404 is jam-packed from Steeles down to Shepherd. Westbound on the Gardner, we have a minor problem approaching the 427 on the right shoulder, a collision there. No lanes are blocked, but it's a really busy drive on the westbound Gardner from just west of Jarvis to the 427 ramp. Westbound on the QAW, delays approaching Dixie to west of here, Ontario. Then busy Ford Plant to Trafalgar. Minor bunch up through Third Line, and then it's heavy from Burloak to Brant. And westbound on the 403, west of Aberdeen, the right lane is blocked with a stalled vehicle. That's causing a slow go from Highway 6 north. Businesses need to think beyond today. That's why ADP uses data-driven insights to design HR, time, and solutions to help your business find more success tomorrow. Visit adp.ca. And now with the forecast, here's Chief Meteorologist Natasha Ramsahai.
So we have a Colorado low coming in. It's going to give multiple rounds of thunderstorms, and different things are going to happen depending on where you are. So overnight tonight, it's going to be the risk of large hail as well as very strong winds, especially down through southwestern Ontario. We've got temperatures down to 4 degrees in Toronto. We may see a few thunderstorms here with gusty winds to start off the day at that 4 degrees, and then we get a break, and then comes another round, in fact, likely 2 rounds of afternoon storms. These ones, especially Windsor through to Sarnia, there's going to be a tornado risk there through southwestern Ontario, whereas for Toronto, it's back to heavy downpours, likely impacting the early part of that morning commute with some visibility issues and gusty winds. Now, temperatures in Toronto, only about 9-10 degrees in the afternoon. It could be 20 down through Windsor, and then temperatures will continue to rise tomorrow night up to 16 degrees. So it's going to be a severe weather day tomorrow. You got to keep your eyes to the skies and be aware. Overnight tonight, down to a low of 4 degrees. It's currently 10 degrees up Pearson.
This is City News.
We begin with breaking news from New York, where Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty to dozens of charges of business fraud. The former U.S. president is already on his way back home to Florida.
City John Sandham's watching the developments and joins us live with the latest. John.
Yeah, James, Donald Trump has made his appearance in court. He's no longer in custody. Now, earlier leaving Trump Tower for the trip across Manhattan to the courthouse, Trump raised his fist in the air for cameras, but retained a neutral expression as he did throughout his trip through the court system. The indictment against him has been unsealed. Here's CNN's Kara Scannell.
The former president pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. Those are all felony counts. The prosecutor said that this was part of a conspiracy that started in 2015 and involved the payment of at least $130,000 to Stormy Daniels.
Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg is expected to speak shortly. That's when we'll learn more details about that. Trump's motorcade now moving through the streets of New York. He's expected to fly back to Mar-a-Lago from LaGuardia. In Florida, he is expected to make remarks to the media and supporters. Reporting live, John Sandham, City News.
City News time 3:35. The union representing transit workers last week called on Toronto mayoral candidates to make transit safety a priority of their election campaigns. Today, one mayoral hopeful says if elected, he would get to work on the problem day one. City's Phil Martino joins us live with the latest on that. Phil.
Legina, Brad Bradford, who's running for mayor, says people just don't feel safe taking transit anymore.
When I go into the station, you can see it in the body language. People's backs jammed against the wall because they're concerned that they might end up on the tracks. If you take the 505 streetcar, there's a good chance you're going to see an open-air drug deal. Violent incidents, folks experiencing mental health crisis, all of these instances are up on the TTC.
Bradford's plan to restore safety includes installing platform edge doors at subway stations, boosting security and safety patrols, and creating a new agency to improve mental health resources for people in distress. Other mayoral candidates have transit safety on their minds as well. Mark Saunders has said too many TTC riders are feeling anxious, and his leadership will make Toronto safer. And according to Anna Balau, if she wins, she would make reversing TTC service cuts a top priority. Phil Martino, City News.
City News time 3:36. Food bank use in Toronto is soaring, with the Daily Bread reporting a record number of visits last month. Here's Mama Karachi.
Daily Bread Food Bank CEO Neil Hetherington says they are in a crisis. The Daily Bread Food Bank and food banks all across the city are at a breaking point, and there is no sign of relief. In fact, the opposite. He says the number of food bank users before the pandemic was 60,000 a month. Since then, it has quadrupled. This past month, the Daily Bread Food Bank saw 270,000 client visits.
visits. That is the most ever recorded in our history.
Hetherington says the food bank used to spend $1.5 million on food a year. Now they spend $1.8 million every month. He's calling on the provincial and federal governments to step in with supports for people who need it the most. Mohamed Qureshi, City News.
The breaking news from Burlington this hour, where one person's been rushed to hospital following a daylight shooting. Halton police say they were called to the Guelph line and New Street area just before 2 this afternoon. The victim suffered serious injuries. Police are still searching for suspects. They're asking witnesses to call them.
This is City News. Charges have been laid nearly 3 months after a deadly daytime crash in Markham on January 14th. Subaru SUV and Hyundai Elantra collided near Burr Oak and McCowan Road. A 75-year-old woman who was a passenger in the car died in hospital. A 59-year-old woman driving the SUV suffered only minor injuries. Joanne Chan of Markham has been charged with dangerous driving causing death.
City News Time 3:38. The Prime Minister and Quebec's Premier both urging people not to speculate in linking the tragic deaths of 8 migrants in the St. Lawrence River to recent rule changes around the Canada-U.S. border.
There is not just dismay, there is heartbreak.
That's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau at an event in Quebec saying his government takes this tragedy very seriously and they want to ensure the safety of everyone, including the most vulnerable. But he says we need to wait for the facts from a police investigation before anyone can link this to the recent agreement between Canada and the U.S. to change our Safe Third Country agreement to stop irregular border crossings. That feeling is echoed by Premier Francois Legault.
All the inquiries will be done, but we have to be careful.
When the border deal was announced and Roxham Road was closed, advocates warned it could push migrants to take even greater risks. 2 children are among the Romanian and Indian families who died off the waters of the Mohawk-Akwesasne territory. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
A check of gas prices next.
With TELUS, you're a part of something bigger. We are helping make the world a better place by using our technology for good. TELUS Health is innovating to help make good health and well-being easier for all. From field to fork, TELUS Agriculture is improving our global food system, and we're investing in sustainable technologies to protect our planet. You can learn more at TELUS.com/purpose. Join us, and let's make the future friendly.
Now, the City